Ring the bell.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Slam Society here, and welcome to our continued WrestleMania week coverage. And right here, right now, I am reviewing the debut edition of WWE Speed, the very first episode from April 3rd, 2024, from the Mohegan Sun Arena in Connecticut. 7,074 fans in attendance for the debut edition of WWE Speed. And look, I thought because of WrestleMania week, the coverage that we're doing of the WWE, of professional wrestling in general, you know, we have to cover everything. And with this being the debut edition of WWE Speed, I thought I should cover it. Now, I know that there were only 2 matches and both of them were under 3 minutes in length, which is the concept of WWE Speed. So I figured after that, what I'm going to do is you're going to see them pop up on the screen. Some tweets that I saw earlier today and some comments that I saw earlier today about WWE Speed. And also going to be responding to a YouTube video that somebody put out with their review of WWE Speed. Just to make it a little bit more exciting of a review here. And of course, before we continue, please hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you know when Slam Society content is coming your way, especially here on WrestleMania week. So, all right, let's get to it, shall we? Karlifornia here for the WWE Speed review. So, okay. The first matchup that I saw here for WWE Speed is Ricochet and Dragon Lee. So going into this, I didn't know what to expect, really. I knew that Speed was going to be short matches, time limit. I didn't know that there was going to be a tournament to crown a champion. I didn't know if this was going to be like a 15-minute show that had 3 matches. I didn't know if there were going to be entrances. I didn't know anything going into this. So going into it cold, I just found myself watching this match between Ricochet and Dragon Lee. And I also saw a little video that Corey Graves had put together as he was talking about the concept of the show itself. So I learned a little bit from that. And then I watched this match. And they were already in the ring as we started off the proceedings. Excuse me a second. Remember, I live in Australia, so I get a little parched at times. Okay, so, right. I'm noticing no entrances. The bell rings. Here we go. I notice a different style of camera work as they're shooting this match, which I was like, cool. They've made it look different. And who, I mean, these are the 2 guys, right? These are the 2 guys you would probably want to kick this thing off with. Lots of counters as they try to rush to beat one another. Corey Graves by himself on commentary. He's somebody that I've never really enjoyed on commentary. I've always kind of had negative feelings towards his ability, but didn't really mind him in this environment. I don't know why, because I haven't liked Corey Graves ever. So for whatever reason, I thought he was doing really good as a lone commentator for this show. So yeah, once again, Corey was trying to explain that with it being only a 3-minute time limit, that they need to come up with different strategies, different ways to find ways to beat one another. And they're going to have to try and rush themselves to get there because they've only got that short amount of time, which makes it a little bit different from the usual, you know? And some people will probably be out there saying things like, well, why don't they just do that all the time and try to win every match as soon as possible? Well, the thing is, there isn't a 3-minute time limit on every match. Excuse me, I'll stop tripping over my words soon. There isn't a 3-minute time limit on every match, so they will have an opponent who is pacing themselves, and that's not going to fare well for the person who is rushing themselves to get a victory. That's why it works, because they're both trying to do the same thing, okay? So let's just get that out of everyone's systems, and hopefully I can get every smudge off my freaking glasses gone as well. Bane of my existence, dude. Bane of my existence. Okay. The final minute begins. The counter turns red. It turns red. Poison Rana by Dragon Lee. He goes off the ropes and Ricochet hits a huge clothesline. Oh, there were people upset about this on Twitter or X. There were people not happy about this. This makes wrestling look bad. Like, oh, shut up, bro. Like, it's WWE Speed. Like, come on. He sold as well. He took a poison rana, but he was dazed a little bit. He hit a huge clothesline, and then he kind of sold as well as he was going for a pin. Maybe not to the extent that you'd hoped for, but just give it a second, okay? Wrestling fans are so annoying, right? Oh my god, bro. I can't wait to read out some of these tweets. Anyway, 30 seconds left. Dragon Lee looked to end things. Recoil by Ricochet, or Recoil, sorry. And he won with 3 seconds left. I like that it's quick. I like that we're not sitting there for 12 minutes. I like that we're not sitting there for 15 minutes. It's done. It's over. Let's move forward. The second match from WWE Speed. I haven't got much to say about this, but Bronson Reed took on Cedric Alexander. The match didn't last very long. This is a good spot for Bronson to show what he can do in a different environment. He nearly won with a Death Valley driver, but then he hit that sick tsunami splash off the top after a short clothesline and a senton, just crushing the sarcophagus. That's an inside joke. Crushing the esophagus, but I always say sarcophagus. Of Cedric Alexander. Bronson Reed wins with 1 minute and 9 seconds remaining. And he looks into the camera and he says, Reed is speed. I like it. This is it. This is the thing. I know that some people probably think that, like, oh, you know, why not just bring back the Cruiserweight Championship? And I'll talk about that in a second. But, you know, the tournament's on. We're going to find out who the first ever Speed champion is next week. We've got Axiom from NXT taking on JD McDonough. So, you know what? This is giving a platform for some people that might not get it as often. And who knows how this is going to fare in the end. But look, this is early days. They only just started this thing, right? So this is it's this is the thing that bothers me, right? So I just seen these matches, and you know what this is good for is, like, you know, during your day where you want to, like, go do a poo. Like, what do you do when you go do a poo? Probably sit there, you probably pull your phone out. You probably go on YouTube, you know, unless you like to, you know, bathe in your scent. Unless you like that, you know, you're probably trying to get your poo done in about 3 to 5 minutes, right? Unless you're having one of those ones where it breaks off halfway. Okay, look, too much. That's too much. But you want someone to watch? Well, I'll tell you what. How about watching a matchup from WWE Speed? It's perfect for doing a poo, mate. Come on. Anyway, so after I'd seen this, I was like, oh, this is like, it's interesting, something different that they're doing. And, you know, I kind of get why they're doing it. It's because, you know, this is like something for Twitter, because, you know, X, sorry. And it's something that it's a platform that's very popular and unfortunately is filled with toxic skid marks, I like to call them. But look, there was some comments that I saw on YouTube. No, sorry, on X and Twitter. I did see some comments on YouTube as well, but mostly the negative ones came on X. There were also some funny ones, which I'm going to bring up here. But a guy by the name of Faithful52X said, it's only 3 minutes and I still fast forward to the final 30 seconds. And G Gen Media said this is going to be a very short-lived concept. I I just don't understand why people have to be like such little assholes, right? Like, how bad is your how bad is your attention span that you still had to fast forward it to the end when it's only 3 minutes long? It just boggles my mind that you already made the decision not to give something a chance. Just watch it. What's wrong with you? DJed Media, this is going to be a very short-lived concept. Why do you think that? Why? Why is this going to be a short-lived concept? Do you think this is going to be like the mixed match challenge or whatever they call that thing? Maybe it will be. But you've given it what? Not even 5 minutes of your time so far, and you've already made your mind up that this isn't going to work. People thought Broken Matt Hardy was the stupidest thing ever and it wasn't going to work, and ended up getting over. At first, no one was giving it a chance. They thought he was losing his mind. No. Sometimes you give something a shot and then all of a sudden you realize, oh, this isn't so bad. Excuse me, at Apagog, only 3 minutes, you say? I see what you did there. Very, very nice. I dig it. I like a pun like that. At Mon_Jeffrey, why are people hating on WWE Speed? I was there live for the first two. Shit is fire. Very nice. That's the attitude to have. I'm down with that, Mon Jeffrey. Thank you. Lewis at BD Lou. He responded to Mon Jeffrey, and he said, and I'll repeat, why are people hating on WWE Speed? And BD Lou said, because if there's one thing wrestling fans hate, it's wrestling. That really got me going. That was a good one. Okay, here we go. Here comes another one. Marty M, or at Prince Marty M on X or Twitter. Personal opinion, WWE Speed is stupid. It just makes talent look weak by being defeated under 3 minutes. He's not there, obviously, but it feels like something Vince would have thought of. Fake crying and laughing emoji. Marty, that's my first flip of the finger on this review. Dude, think. Use your brain, bro. Use it for a second. They're using different strategies to try and win the match in under 3 minutes. So is their opponent when they are trying to rush to get a victory in a very short amount of time that leads them to opening themselves up to making a mistake and getting wiped the F out. That's the whole idea. Different strategies because they've only got 3 minutes. How hard is that to get through your skull, bro? How hard is that to get through your skull? And to think that this would have been a Vince idea, there's no way Vince would have gone for something like this. There is no way. Someone would have pitched this idea and that old man would have already forgotten about it by the time they get to TV the next week and they're trying to get it going. You don't know what you're talking about. Think for a minute. Thank you. At Johnny_Hansen. Bruh, you're missing the point. This is Triple H trolling AEW. This is a look, we even do your style better than you. Johnny, come on, Johnny. Johnny, bro, I just gotta let you know, mate. And I gotta say this to a lot of people. I've said it to a lot of people lately. Dude, not everything WWE does is a response to AEW. Not everything WWE does is because of AEW. They're not doing anything to bother AEW or annoy Tony or get one over on them. They don't care. And anyone out there that actually thinks that Triple H thinks about AEW all day long and wants to do all these things just to annoy them, you are out of your mind. They don't care. Do you realize how much more fish to fry they have than worrying about a company that can't draw a crowd unless someone is retiring or debuting? WWE Speed had more people in attendance than the last AEW Dynamite. Okay, and I know speed isn't the thing that's drawing them, but it's a funny thing to say. I saw somebody recently say something like, "Oh, when William Regal showed up to make Ava the general manager of NXT, somebody was saying, oh, they only did that. They only put Regal on TV just to ruin Tony's week because I don't know. Tony was like celebrating some sort of milestone with AEW, and I'm like." You really think that they're sitting there thinking of ways to upset Tony Khan? They don't care. You guys honestly think way too much of AEW and you think way too much of this war that's going on. The only war that's going on is inside Tony's head, and you've all bought into it as well. There is no war. Unbelievable. Iowa journalist at Iowa Writer 72. I guess he's a journalist. What's the point of this? Why does that make me laugh? What's the point of this? Well, I don't know. You're a journalist. Do some research, dickhead. Oh, for Christ's sake. Frank at Frank Frizzle 215. Great match, but why not just bring back the Cruiserweight Championship? Because Bronson Reed can't fucking make weight for that dude. It's not about cruiserweights and it's not about weight limits. It's about trying to get a win in 3 minutes. That's it. Why didn't you get the concept? Why does it have to be bring back 205 Live? I saw someone say bring back 205 Live if you're going to do this. No, that's not the concept. It has nothing to do with cruiserweight wrestling. Just because Ricochet and Dragon Lee were in the first matchup doesn't mean this is about cruiserweights. You have Bronson coming out there. This is almost like I don't know. It's almost like a different version of the X Division title, except that there's a time limit on the matches. Almost. You know, it's not about weight limits, it's about no limits. I don't know. But anyway, figure it out, boys. Come on. Okay. At Ashish Choda. Nice. It would be better if it was called Speedway at WWE and at Triple H. Hashtag WWE Speed and one of those emojis that does that, like, think about it. Hashtag quick fix idea. Hashtag WWE Speedway. No, that's a terrible idea. I'm sorry, Ashish. I appreciate your enthusiasm with your tweet, but Speedway sucks, dude. If they were going to call it anything else, yes, you know what? Velocity would be a nice name to bring back, but it's done. Let's let it be gone, okay? Velocity is not coming back. I know we all loved Velocity. We all loved Sunday Night Heat, but it is not coming back, okay? It's now all about WWE Speed, okay? World Peace at Flower B1400. How about women's mid-card title? How about adding more women matches to Wrestle Space Mania? How about women's mid-card title? How about adding more women matches to WrestleMania? Okay, you know what? I agree. I'd like to see more women's matches on the WrestleMania card. I'd like to see Tiffany Stratton on the card. I'd like to see Liv Morgan on the card. I think they could have had another feud going on between, two women that could be on the card. It's long enough that you could fit it in. And you know what? Yes, I also agree about the women's mid-card championship. I've always thought that it's important that the women have levels. I just said this on my NXT review yesterday. Levels, something to go for first before they go for the heavyweight title. Because you don't want the first singles title someone ever wins to happen to be the women's championship. That's just a bit too much. You need something to vie for so that there is a journey to get to the world championship. You can form a tag team, be in that tag team, win the tag team titles. And then after that, you go for that singles title. And then maybe you want to win the Queen's crown, the Queen of the Ring. Then you go for the heavyweight title after winning the Royal Rumble. Things of that nature. Yes, I agree. But Flower B1400, now's not the time or the place to be talking about this and whinging about this. It's like here's a good example and a terrible example at the same time. I was a big fan of Amy Winehouse. The day she died, Farrah Fawcett also passed away. And people were complaining about other people being mourning for Amy Winehouse because she did drugs and drank alcohol, and someone like Farrah's being forgotten about. You know, it's okay to be concerned with more than one thing at a time. Like it's also sad that Farrah's passed away, just as it's sad that Amy passed away. It's okay to like be passionate about a women's mid card title, and also wanting more women's matches at WrestleMania. But it's also okay that there's this other thing that's happening that can be maybe important for a second. Um, so I wanted to end this kind of, I've gone through some tweets there, some positive, some negative. There's a guy on YouTube, and he's going to pop his face on the screen now, and also going to pop up his YouTube account now. So you know what? I think his name's More Ango. Give him a subscription and check out some of his videos. Excuse me, got a croaky throat. But look, I was watching the Speed stuff, and I was trying to like find some more stuff out about the show. So I did like a YouTube and a Google about it, and the first thing I saw was this guy More and Go. He did a little video on his thoughts on WWE Speed, but the thing was, he titled it WWE Speed is terrible, and I'm like, it only just started, and you've already made your mind up on that level that it's terrible. It's terrible. So I watched his video, and I'm not doing this to make fun of him. I'm not doing this to call him out. I'm just doing this because I think it's important that there's people out there that have these YouTube channels, and this guy's got way more subscribers than the Slam Society. And he likes to put his opinions out there, and each their own. People are free to do what they want any old time. But when I watched the video, it was quite clear to me that this guy didn't really know how he felt about the whole thing, but he was trying to make a point about how he felt about WWE Speed. But everything he said, I was like, no, 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 no. So I'm going to do a rebuttal to pretty much everything he said here, okay? So first of all, he did his review before the second match had even had the chance to air. So he had only been going off what he had seen when Ricochet wrestled Dragon Lee in the first match. So he hadn't even seen Bronson Reed versus Cedric Alexander. The first thing he said was that WWE have just made this show to cater to the TikTok generation because people have bad attention spans now. Wrong. WWE Speed is for engagement on X or Twitter, not for people with a bad attention span. People like to scroll through Twitter, X, whatever you call it, quite a lot. It's a very popular service that people use, and especially quite popular for professional wrestling, especially with a lot of people on there whinging and complaining all the time. That's what this is for. It's like back in the day, they used to have Bite This and Sunday Night Heat used to be airing on WWE.com. They would have things that were only for WWE.com because they wanted that engagement. And guess what? Engagement on X and Twitter, it's all maths at the end of the day, bro. All maths at the end of the day. The more eyeballs that watch and engage, the more of an opportunity that there is that person is going to like what they see. They might not, but there's still an opportunity because the eyeballs are there. Might like what they see. They might put their hand in their pocket. They might pay for Peacock or whatever. They might pay for a ticket to go to a show. They might buy some merchandise. It's all maths. That's why ratings do matter. The more eyeballs that are on your product is the more potential customers or potential fans that you're going to get. That's why they do this. They are trying to engage people. This is not just for people with a bad attention span. They're not sitting around a boardroom at a boardroom meeting and someone says, I have an idea for those with bad attention spans. No, that's not happening. They're trying to take advantage of engagement on a platform like X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. He started going on about they have to record 52 matches because there's going to be one a week. Okay. What I don't understand what the problem with that was. This is the next thing that bothered me that More and Go said. He's talking about Ricochet and Dragon Lee, and he said they finished with 3 seconds left. Will it really get predictable? Because he seemed to think that when it finished with 3 seconds left, that means every time they have a match on WWE Speed, it's going to be a pretty predictable ending. How? I didn't know who was going to win between Dragon Lee and Ricochet. I thought Dragon Lee might actually win because he's on the actual WrestleMania card, and I don't think Ricochet is anywhere near it. I think he's only in the Battle Royal that's on SmackDown. So it was unpredictable to me that Ricochet beat the guy who's on the WrestleMania card, because I thought they were going to try and keep Dragon Lee a bit stronger going into Mania. So no, I don't know where you were coming from talking about, because what, you're thinking that every match is going to end with 3 seconds left. Okay, maybe it's predictable in that sense, even though Bronson Reed won in a squash in the next match. But the thing is, who knows who's going to win? You don't know who's going to win. I didn't know who was going to win this time, and usually I can pick it, and I was pretty sure Dragon Lee was going to go over, but no. Next thing I didn't like that he had to say. You forgot to say, in my opinion, but he said, people don't like this kind of content. Says who let you be in charge, dude? You're not in charge. I didn't mind it. There were some people that thought it was cool. Why are you in charge of everyone saying people don't like this kind of content? In your opinion. But the fact is, as I said earlier, people like watching stuff when they're chucking a poo. This is only 3 minutes of my time. Not a problem. I don't know where you come from saying something like that. People don't like this kind of content. Clearly they do, because by the time that I'd actually finished watching it all, 1.4 million people had checked out the first couple of matches or something around that mark. I know when you checked it out, only 25,000 people had seen it, but by the time I saw it, who knows what it's up to now? Who knows what it's up to? Because honestly, I think people, more eyeballs hit videos on Twitter than they do on YouTube sometimes. Anyway, you're also complaining about they have to do things in these matches rapid fast. That's the concept. Kayfabe-wise, you have to come up with a strategy to outwit your opponent, who is also trying to do the same thing to win within 3 minutes. That's the point. They are trying to go rapidly fast so they can try and win the match as soon as possible. How hard is that to understand the concept? Like, you know what? Take your video down, go back, do some research, figure out what the concept is, watch it again, come back and do another review. Don't put videos out there if you don't even understand the concept yet, bro. You're complaining about how am I supposed to get emotionally connected to these matches? You're not. Not everything needs to have an emotional journey, bro. It's just a little exciting thing. It's like watching a rally in tennis or something like that. It's quick pace, it's fast. Who's going to win? Who knows? This is wild. You're not supposed to feel emotion on that level, but maybe you're supposed to get like excited, but maybe you're not going to like have a tear come to your eye. Then you're mentioning entrances. We don't need entrances. It's fine. It's something different. They're already in the ring. Boom, let's go. Let's not waste our time with entrances. Long term, it doesn't have a place in WWE. After watching 2 minutes and 57 seconds of it, you think long term it doesn't have a place. Give it a second, dude. Just give it a moment to like breathe for a second. Then make a decision. Don't put a video out there saying WWE Speed is terrible when you've seen 2 minutes and 57 seconds of it. Then you're going on about, and I'm almost done, everyone, but watch his video and then watch my rebuttal here. He said, if you give Ricochet and Dragon Lee, or whoever you said, I think you might have said Cedric Alexander, but if you give them 20 minutes of TV, it'll be a better match than this. That's not the concept. And why do we always need to see 20, 15, 20-minute matches all the time, 25-minute matches? Why do they have to go forever? And everyone's kicking out of everything all the time. Why does it, what's this obsession with long matches, everyone? I don't understand it. I watch NXT every week and there's like there might be one match that goes over 10 minutes. And I'm thankful for it, because I'm so sick and tired of watching these AEW pay-per-views or WWE pay-per-views, and every match is like 20 minutes long. And the entrances, oh my God, bro. Sometimes it's all right to have some quick and snappy stuff. Then he's gone on about how's WWE going to make money off this monetization-wise. Engagement, eyeballs, fandom, hands in pockets, money, forking out for shows, merchandise. I already explained it before. Engagement, eyeballs equals, it's all maths, bro. It's all maths. Don't agree with having a video called WWE Speed is terrible. Then you're talking about how you read the spoilers. Well, now I know why you think everything's predictable, bro, because you already know the results of everything. Stop reading spoilers. I don't read them. I never have. You should not do it either. Why ruin it for yourself? Just watch the thing. You don't need to know what's about to happen before it happens. I'm sorry that I targeted this more and go. I didn't targeted sounds very harsh, but I wanted to kind of just rebut everything he said, and the notes that I took from watching his video, WWE Speed is terrible, because sometimes people just put things out there and then someone will watch it and then they'll take that as the gospel because that's just what they heard. But then somebody needs to like set things straight and just give a rebuttal. People can disagree with what I've got to say here. I don't know everything, but I'm using common sense because I don't think that this guy really knew what he was talking about. I don't think he really knows how he felt, because he kept on saying things like, I mean, I thought it was cool. Well, if you thought it was cool, then why are you saying it's terrible, bro? Come on. Know what you want to say what you want to say. Why are we watching this? And you're trying to squeeze how you feel out of your brain and getting it to filter from your brain to your mouth and trying to make it make sense. Write some notes before you do something like this. Think about it for a minute. Unbelievable. Say what you say, mean what you mean when you're talking. Anyway, I've gone over 30 minutes now talking about WWE Speed and responding to some people out there and how they felt about the whole thing. I didn't mind it. It was all right. I'm looking forward to seeing more of it. I thought it was a very interesting concept, and we'll see how it goes. You know, I'm not going to review it every week. I just wanted to do the debut edition of it. And I wanted to retort some wrestling fans out there that say silly things or say some funny things. So thank you for joining me here on the Slam Society for our WrestleMania week coverage. I'm Karlifornia. See you next time. Thank you.